What's up YouTube, it's Louis here bringing you today's cryptocurrency video. I just want to say thank you all. I've just reached 700 subscribers. I think what I'm going to do now is once I get to 500 followers, which I'm 101 followers away from on Twitter, once I get to 500 I'm going to give away some crypto and I'll do a giveaway closer to the time. I'll put that on my Twitter and you'll have to enter on Twitter, so make sure you're following me at my Twitter, Louis_crypto. I'll also do a 750 subscriber giveaway. Of course, I'm at 1000 I'm giving away a course to one person, and the details will follow after I hit 750. But when I hit 750 followers, I'll also give away some crypto to and I'll do that giveaway as well on Twitter, and I think that we can get there this week, honestly guys, so please share this with everyone. Of course, more details will follow on them. So we need to look at FIRO. So if I turn off the chart, you can see that actually in the last few days we formed something called a bearish cross, and what this means is that you're going to come down, you're going to confirm downtrend. But if you have the 200 EMA on your chart, you will realize that a lot of the time that when you have the bearish cross, a lot of time you're just going to come and retest the 200 EMA, and by the time it's done the bearish cross, it's already tested the 200 EMA. Now, just because I'm going to show you that it has done it, doesn't mean that every single time it does happen, because obviously nothing's 100% in this business. So you can see we formed the bearish cross over here, but we've already come down to the 200 EMA. Over here you formed the bearish cross, but you lost it. But as long as you don't hit your head on the 200, you're not going to go in some long-term downtrend. So we got below it, and then you didn't hit your head over here, and so we got back above it, confirmed its support, lost it again, fake out, got back above, confirming that support. So once you confirm that support here, you confirmed your uptrend, and since then you have a low over here which is higher than this low, and then a higher low over here, because this body is not lower than the lowest wick over here. Yes, body's lower, but yeah, looking at the wick, it's not a lower low. So it's all fine. You've formed a higher high over than this high. So as long as you'll keep forming higher lows, then of course we'll make a higher high eventually. And that's what we're seeing for FIRO. Low, higher low, higher low. So that's all it is. Going on a macro scale, you can see, as I said, it's been doing higher lows since 2020. So it's all good. It's eventually going to get higher highs. But of course, because it's a micro cap, it doesn't take a lot to shift it, but obviously it's going to take a while to get the notice, you know what I mean? So that's why you have other privacy coins doing better. But to be honest, FIRO's got is probably one of the best privacy coins for actually like hiding the address, hiding the amount. No one knows who the hell the geezer is. But with Bitcoin, it doesn't really hide much. Of course, you don't know who the person is, but you can see the wallet address. You can, like, we always follow that Bitcoin wallet address, that Wales address. So that's not completely hidden, is it? And then what else? You can see the complete amounts of the transactions. You can't see that with FIRO. So that's why FIRO is beautiful for that reason. So with that bearish cross, don't worry about it too much. Look over here, you had a bearish cross. You lost the 200, but you didn't hit your head on it. You got back above and formed a bullish cross. So there's nothing to worry about here. Even if you lose the 200, which is negative, guys, to be honest. But as long as you don't hit your head on it, you're fine. Look here. Fell below, got straight back above, fell below, got straight back above, fell below, got straight back above. So it's all totally fine. Let's go in on the closer time frames now. So yesterday on Twitter, make sure you follow me there, because obviously that's where I'm going to be doing my giveaways anyway. You had your bullish cross over here, you've fallen back to it. So if we go to the 1 hour, it'll be clearer to see. So on the 4 hour, you formed your bullish cross, you come back to it. On the 1 hour, you've actually tested the 200 EMA. So yesterday on my Twitter, I gave you this target down here, as around this area basically, and it was because we had a swing high over here and you had wicks to the downside, support, resistance basically, and you formed this rising wedge, technical target at the bottom of the wedge, which we've now met. So another reason, not only was it the rising wedge which made me believe that we were going to come down, it was also the bearish divergence, or the hidden bearish divergence. Quite hard to see, but if we zoom in a lot on here, you can see that this high is higher than this one. So this is a lower high over here, but on the chart you had a higher high. So that's why it's called hidden bearish divergence, because on the chart it's looking all okay. Oh yep, higher highs, higher lows, and then on the RSI lower highs. So it's basically telling you that we're overextended, we need to come down, we need to reset the RSI. So you're not even at the bottom of the RSI basically at the moment, you're not in the oversold territory, so there's room to come down. And I told you guys that if we do lose this, expect to come back to the neckline of this ascending triangle. So you've actually formed now an M pattern. So if you do lose $7.68, let me remove this now. If you do lose $7.68, let's remove all of this because it's just in the way now. I'm going to keep that trend line though. Sorry, that's support, resistance. So you have confirmed it as resistance. And I was telling you guys that even though we are going up, you still can get rejected here because that's the neckline of this M top. So that would basically send us back down. And I've already given you targets to the downside. But with this M pattern that we got yesterday, I can give you further targets. So potentially we could come to this ascending triangles support basically. Yeah, look at that for some confluence. So if you do lose support right now, which is $7.68, then we could see some further downside for FIRO. So I know that this top is in over here, this short-term top, because you're rolling over. So of course, when you're putting the fibs, you want to measure from your swing low to your swing high. And how do you know this is your swing high? Literally just let it start rolling over. Don't try and call it, like let it actually roll over. The wicks to the top means that it's going to drop. And look where your wicks were, just above this area, which was your resistance, support, back into resistance. Had a quick fake out again. And I think I warned you guys that we had the bearish divergence over here. So you were coming into the apex of the ascending, the rising wedge. But then you also got stopped out by this resistance point. That's why I didn't go to the apex. And you can see lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. So if you do lose that 382, basically, we are going to come down more. So look where your target is at the 786. So what we don't want is something like this, where you roll over and then you come back to the 618 and get rejected. Because if you do, we're going to come to the 1. Over here at the 1 at $7.13, which was this area that I gave you while we were dipping, the 720 to 717 area. Let's drag that. So this was the area I gave you as I said that once we bounce off this, we want to come back and confirm that support, and then we started heading up basically. So that was the support we wanted to hold. And every time we came into this support, it acted as a nice area of demand. You came into it, literally what's happening here is exactly what happened here. You just didn't have that massive F-off wick. So you had that descending triangle, or your M pattern over here. You broke out, made a technical target. I think it was like 705. So I got that pretty smack on. Where's 705? There you go. So literally smack on 705. And then you formed an ascending triangle over here, which I gave you the technical target 785. You got overextended, forming a new pattern, an M pattern, and this descending triangle where you let me do that. You broke to the top, then you came back down and you lost support here. And then that validated the pattern. So then you measure from here to here, put down the break, and I gave you that technical target to the bottom where we formed another ascending triangle, which we broke out. I gave you a target up here. We met the target. What was it? $7.91, which we came to exactly because that pink trend line was $7.92. So all it is you form a pattern, you meet your target, and then you form another pattern. Once your target's met, it will form another pattern, just like I showed you. A descending triangle, target met down here, formed a new pattern, ascending triangle, target met up here, formed a new pattern, target met down here, formed a new pattern, target met up here, new pattern, target met, or not target met yet, but if you remember, if you have to come down to this neckline because you haven't back tested that support, and then if you do lose that, you're coming to the ascending triangles trend line, because that's the technical target out of this M top. So if you do lose this, if you do lose the 1 I said, you can form a double bottom at the 1. But if you do lose it, then we have further targets to the downside. And look at that for confluence. What level did I tell you guys that if FIRO, what level did I tell you guys that FIRO can't lose on the monthly? $6.60. So if we lose this 1, your actual technical target is $6.60. So the pattern would be complete then. Of course, if you hit your head, you're coming down to here, and we don't want that. But if you do come down there, as long as we can work our way back up above the fibs, confirm the 1618 as support, get back above the 1, confirm that support, we're off basically. So it can be like a bear market scare, as long as you just don't hit your head on the 1618 here, and you'd roll over, and you don't want that. So if you do lose the 1 at 713, which is just this zone that I've given you in the past, if you do lose that, then we're going to come to the 1618, and we don't want that really. So that's your bearish targets for FIRO. I did give you some bullish ones yesterday, measuring this dip over here. So remember, if we get above the 618, which I said yesterday, which was your M pattern and your M pattern and descending triangles neckline, if you did break above that, it's just amazing confluence, because the 791 was the target out of this ascending triangle, which you met and then formed a new pattern. So yeah, I did tell you guys that if we get above that, we can head to $9.36, come back to support. And I did tell you guys that it's highly likely once we have the breakout, and don't be disillusioned to it, but you will fall back to this. I don't know if we're going to go that high, but that's your technical target. So once meeting there, you can find support on here or on here. But once we break out above this, I do want to see the back test of this pink line as support. So that's why I was telling you guys that it's most likely going to go to the 1618 and come back to test this as support before continuing up to the larger ascending triangles apex before breaking out, giving us a target of I think $15 to $16. But actually when we break above 1080, we'll go to $25 to $30. So yeah, once you back test this as support, you'll fly to the 1080 zone basically. So if I go into a bit more detail about the fibs, you can actually go all the way to the 1618 and come down to the 618. I don't know if a lot of people know about this, but in the last few years of my trading, this is what I've noticed, that you can actually usually you come to the 1.272 down here before continuing, but I have seen cases where it's come all the way down to the 0618. As long as it can stay above that, you will eventually go back up, and that would be a nasty correction, wouldn't it? But it would be a very nice entry if you're not in FIRO yet. Of course, don't wait up for it. Like everyone keeps asking me, what's the best entry for FIRO? What's the best entry for FIRO? You're so early still, it's actually ridiculous. You don't even need to worry about that. Like if we got a minimal target at $90, why 7 too late? You know what I mean? 7, that's over 10x, guys. You need to realize that. Too many people like scared of it going down on you, like, oh no, I'm not going to enter at 7, I'll wait until it's above $10.80. No, you want to buy when there's fear basically. So I hope you enjoyed today's update. I hope you understood that. If not, watch it back again. And yeah, I'm doing a giveaway at 500 followers and 750 subscribers for some crypto of mine. Perfect. I'll catch you in the next one. And as always, peace.